Hi, good morning. I put a video out yesterday and I ended up taking it off because I wanted to add more to this subject. So, how is everyone today? I'm going to talk about the Djinn today. Corey had asked me specifically to look into this subject, so I decided I would look thoroughly into this subject. I knew some about it, but then I started to really remote view and I saw some quite interesting things. So, let's just start with the Djinn. What are the Djinn? First off, I will tell you in the very beginning, there are more than one type of Djinn. Yes, most people lump it all together. And some things that are marked Djinn are not actually Djinn, so we'll get into all of that too. Djinn. Djinn are an extension of the Archon. It's another way of infiltration to the human populace through certain sections of reality or wherever you happen to reside in this little snow globe. They come out as different things, and one of them is the Djinn. So, let's get into that. First off, we live in a matrix, and this is one of the big things about Djinn. We are creator beings, and as creator beings, we can manifest what we think about. We project our thoughts into a form of reality and solidify it in that form of reality. It's equal to being a tulpa. So the more you focus on something, the more you manifest that, and this matrix will give you exactly what you focus on. This place is designed this way. So if you focus on this, you're going to start seeing Djinn all around you. Now, here's the thing about Djinn. We have our own expectations of what Djinn are, and we put that into our tulpas. I suggest that if you don't want negativity walking here, you don't do that. I would stay clear of anything where negativity is going to be put your direction. So that's one form of Djinn. Now let's look at the actual Djinn themselves. These are dark entity beings, of course, derived from the Archon. They're tricksters, and their main goal is to feed off of you. So they will give you things that'll pull you high up and think, oh, I've got all this from my Djinn. Guess what? Just to drop you down. It always ends poorly. And the main thing is, the higher they can get you, the harder you're going to fall. And the more negativity you'll have spewing out of your body, your being. You'll have fear, you'll have anxiety, you'll have a lack of, and they'll feed off that negative energy. And that's the main purpose for the Djinn, to feed off that negativity. So, yeah, very terrible. Now, I do know this. The Djinn, if you don't want them in your life, don't focus on them. Because the moment you focus on them, you're putting up a big red flag saying, hello, here I am. And you put a big old target on yourself. I wouldn't be doing it. Now, as far as the Djinn, where you make the tulpa, the Djinn, yeah, it's still based in the negativity. Although you might be thinking, yeah, I want that genie in the bottle and have my wishes, but subconsciously you know that it never ends well, so I wouldn't be going down that road. Now let's look at another form of Djinn that are actually labeled Djinn, but they're not. And we'll call them the chameleons. Other beings, imposters, pretending to be the Djinn. Why do they do this? Because they can. And it's as simple as that. And they'll play with you like a toy because you're like a game. Oh boy, you want Djinn in your life? You want this, you want that? I'm going to step into that role and I'm going to be that and I'm going to play with you because, hey, this is what you want. I'll step up to the plate and do that. So you have to be really leery about what's coming in because it may just be other beings on different dimensions stepping up, taking that role. We've got a lot of tricksters out there. And they're just like you and me and anybody else. They see an opportunity and they're like, hey, I'll play that game. So, yeah, not so good either. And then, of course, we have the Djinn that they seem to, and they are of a lighter, brighter frequency. And they aren't actually Djinn either. They're just higher energy forms taking the role because that's what you expect them to be. And they're not quite as malevolent. I mean, they can actually be deemed, well, you actually did help me. But I'm going to tell you, they're not Djinn. They too are imposters, that if this is how you want to perceive them and interact with them, they will take on whatever role you want them to be so they can interact with you. It's a very sticky, wicked kind of system here. I suggest that if you focus on anything, focus on something that's positive and high vibration, and do not connect Djinn to anything, because after all, the entire concept is Archon based, and it's a feeding concept, and you are the food. So this was for Corey. Corey, I hope I answered some of your questions. We could get into more detail on the Djinn, exactly how they come into your life. Well, of course, because you're waving a big red flag, here I am, come get me. And it's like, tag, you're it. No, we don't want that. And yes, there's been a lot of lore about the Djinn and why there's such diversity in that lore, because of the diversity of what you're actually dealing with. Depending if you're really dealing with the Archon-based Djinn or if you're dealing with imposters who want to just interact with you. So we could go into little scenarios of how things have been done. You know, the whole thing, the genie in the bottle, granting you the wishes, and they always turn sour. And that's the Djinn, that kind of scenario. So do your research. Know that there are varying chameleon-like beings who will gladly fill that role also. And don't do anything that you would want any kind of negativity back at you. My suggestion is only think and do something that will benefit you in the long run. So that's my little video for the day. And Corey, that was for you. All right. Have a great day. Bye.